Okay, good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Boy, do I have a treat for you guys today. I have with me the ever so amazing downtown Cindy Brown. She really is everything that is energy. Brace yourself because her energy will like totally penetrate right through your screen. Cindy is so inspiring. She is a firefighter paramedic and now lieutenant, which I believe means officer in charge of the ambulance. Correct me if I'm wrong, Cindy. And okay, okay, good. If something I learned from Cindy is she just loves watching her God kids, and I mean she lives and breathes these kids. And what's so cool about Cindy is that everything that Cindy has learned through this program, she's teaching her God kids. Now, how fantastic is that? So. More than all of that, Cindy is over 10 years sober, which she cut cold turkey. And she really has a passion for helping people, specifically in prison ministries. And I guess basically she goes into the prisons and helps prisoners reconnect spiritually. So, I mean, that is just amazing. Cindy really does help a lot of people in the most trying times. And Cindy is what I like to call a powerhouse. So welcome, Cindy. How are you doing today?
Great. How about you? Thanks for having me today, by the way.
Yeah, I'm doing great. It's a fantastic day here, and the sun's shining again. So I'm like taking that as a win.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's nice here today. A little bit warmer. So, I mean, I guess I'm complaining because it got down to like 48 last night and I was freezing. So I had to turn the heat on. But it's in the mid upper 60s right now. So I'm in shorts and a t-shirt and I love life again.
Shorts and a t-shirt. Well, that's foreign to us right now. Cindy, so you've been working with Nally for a while. So since what was your biggest challenge before joining this training and studying this material?
Consistency. Just, I would start stuff and finish it, but then it's almost like a relapse. And, you would lose some weight, gain some weight, lose some weight, gain some weight, get ahead a little bit, get knocked back a little bit. Just, the heart was there. It's just, I didn't realize how much your mind really plays a role in what you accomplish and how it affects how every little bit of your life, to include losing weight. It's not about, yes, it is about kind of what you eat and things like that. But when you change how you think, that's when the weight has stayed off. And, I just this morning realized that I have been the lowest I've ever been. Well, not ever, but since high school. I'm not to my ideal high school weight yet, but since 2009, I'm less than I was then, 12 pounds less than what I was in 2009. And that was a big deal because that was my 20-year class reunion for high school. So it was a big deal to go back and, see everybody and reconnect and, so that was kind of a big issue, was changing how I thought. I didn't realize that just really changing just some simple things about how I believe, who I am, what my mind thinks, how I process things. It was a huge difference. Because if you don't change, how you got to the problem, and a lot of it was mindset, you're going to repeat it. No matter how many diets you do, no matter how many times you count the calories, do the keto, be a vegetarian, if you don't change how you see yourself, you're going to fail. I mean, I hate to say it, and I was a success story. Back in '09, you know, I lost before I went back to my high school weight, you know, reunion. I lost like 30 pounds, but I put that plus another 30 plus pounds back on to be the heaviest this past year. Well, it was 1 year ago that I was the heaviest I've ever been in my whole entire life. To the point that I freaked out when I stood on the scale and told the guy he couldn't write the number down. He was completely wrong. His scale was wrong. Made him recalibrate it. It was comical. And he remembered me when I went back this year. He remembered, oh yeah, you're the crazy chick that stripped down to your sports bra and underwear and took everything off. He goes, you ain't doing that today, are you? I said, no, I'm getting on scale with everything I got on and we're good to go. So he was, you know, really excited about it. So, but I told him, he said, well, what was the secret? I said, I changed my mind. That's what I did.
Oh my God, it's so amazing. So yeah, if you could just, so people can really understand where you were at. So when did you, tell us how long you've been working, doing this program, and then just so people can really understand where you were.
Well, a year ago, we had a physical that we can do with the county that's very in depth. It does everything. And I got on the scale and it said 201. Well, it said 202. And I freaked out and I told the guy, absolutely not. We got down to 201. I told him he could write that on the paper. And I go every year to make sure that I don't have a heart or lung disease because of what I do for a living. We can get that and I can prove that the job brought it on. So that was a shocker. But the big shocker that really kind of hit me like a ton of bricks was I went on a call to a lady's house. She broke her ankle. I'm doing what I do. I love and honor. I'm giving her pain meds, this, and this. And she makes the comment, quote, to everybody before we move her, wow, you're just so much nicer than I ever thought. And my captain says, ma'am, we've never been to this house. This is our first time ever to your location. Oh, no. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever had to call you guys. But I drive past the fire station all the time. And I see her pointing to me outside walking, well, outside the front of the fire station, quote, waddling up and down, smoking a cigarette. And everybody laughed because she was referencing me to another lieutenant that works at our department that is off on medical leave. And she kind of looked at her and said, well, no, honey, that's not the person. She was like, are you sure? You know, she waddles. I mean, that's what the lady said. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, we all laughed it off, put her in the truck, gave her a ride to the hospital, made her feel like $1 million, gave her the max dose of fentanyl, and, you know, everything was great. Got back, and I was sitting in the office, pretty much isolated. The cat came and knocked on the door and said, hey, Brown, open up. And I said, yeah. And at that moment, it hit me. I said, do I waddle? Am I that fat? Am I horrible? You know, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, oh, that's it. I got to do something. So I was already following Natalie through Kevin. I had known Kevin through another business organization, and I've been following him all along. And I reached out to them and said, listen, I can't do this anymore. This is horrible, you know, because it just, I mean, I was about as low as I could be. I mean, I literally was crying at the fire station hysterically, thinking, was I that bad? Was I horrible, you know? And they're like, Cindy, you're one of the greatest people in the world. You got the biggest heart. Yeah, you got a little bit of weight on, but it ain't nothing, Cindy. You're beautiful. You know, they're just saying everything. But in my mind, you know, I'm having flashbacks to my dad telling me you're fat and you're ugly, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're never going to be anything. Just the programming that I heard when I was growing up just flooded me. And it was just overwhelming. I mean, it was hard. I mean, thank God we didn't get a call, that I had a few minutes to compose myself, because it would have been hard to go on a call and try to love on someone, you know? And it was like kind of like hitting rock bottom going, whew, you know, really? This is what these people that have never met me this is what they see, but they don't, you know, I mean, come on, you know? So it was an eye opener, you know. And so I reached out and said, listen, I got to have help. Can you guys please help me? And they said, yeah. And I was all about, what do I got to do to lose this weight? And then they're like, whoa, pump the brakes, girl. You got to change your mindset. And then, you know, I started thinking into results. And I tell you, if it was $1 million, Zoe, I'd have paid it. I'd have figured out some way, somehow. If that means I had to go stand on the street corners, shine the shoes, I would have done whatever it took to make it happen. It is absolutely the most incredible experience I've ever had. It's changed who I am, and, you know, just not even the overall getting healthy, that's important, but how I am, how I'm more confident, how, you know, I carry myself, it's a life changer.
It really is. You know, you go on this journey initially because you think, you know, I need to get healthy and I need to lose weight, and then what you get out of it, when you realize, you know, you got to strip it down and start at the basics and get to the root of it, and what you get out of it in the end is so much more than just a healthy body, right? What would you say was your biggest breakthrough with studying with Natalie and doing this training?
That I'm not what I believed I was. I didn't realize how your subconscious really can mess with you, and how all that old programming back in the day, oh, you're a piece of this, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're not good enough, you're this, or even stuff that I would tell myself, oh, you know, I'm not a great lieutenant like so and so. I'm definitely, just putting myself down and just realizing that how important it is that you don't do that, that you infuse love and positiveness in people, because, you know, you heard it enough growing up that I was a piece of whatever, that I really believed it, you know, that, you know, I couldn't do certain things, that I couldn't do this because of what I was programmed back in the day. And I just believed it, that I couldn't be, you know, such and such. I mean, I have a cousin that is a first cousin. I love her to death. My grandma always would say, it's okay, honey. You know, such and such is the pretty one. And she was. She won pageants. She was the homecoming queen. She modeled. She did everything. My grandma would always say, it's okay, Cindy. You got to have an ugly duckling in the group. And you're pretty, honey. Everybody loves you. It's okay. So, you know, you get that going and you believe it. It's just, if you know, beat a dog down enough, after a while, it just believes it's a horrible dog, you know. And I realized by doing this program that I can change how I see myself, that I am an incredible human being. I am enough. I'm lovable. I'm caring. I'm charismatic. I have something to offer. I'm one of the world's greatest people in the whole wide world. You know, I mean, I love it. It's incredible. And, you know, by doing this program, you're going to learn the basics. And yeah, it's, I'm going to be honest, there's some of it that can be hard to look at. It's hard to be honest, you know, because sometimes you just want to put blinders on and pretend like that, you know, that didn't happen. You know, that don't apply. I'll just skip. No, you can't skip anything. You really got to be honest and peel back the onion and get to the core of the problems, because you're not going to move forward without it. And do I have setbacks? Yeah. Some days are better than others. Sometimes I have a little poor pity me moment, you know, whatever. But for the most part, it really, you just don't realize how much society, people, family, how much you get programmed into thinking they're not something because of just everyday environment. And it really changed how I see myself. And, you know, that's incredible. That you can't put price on it. I just, when people are like, what? You did what? That's crazy. I said, well, you know what? it's crazy that for 49 years, I did the exact same thing. And what did it get me? Nothing. And now my next 49 years are going to be better than ever, you know? So it's great to know that I can change how I think. I can see myself differently, and it really does make a difference.
Yeah, you know what, you really are all those things you said, and how amazing now that you can show the world. Now you can show up as who you really are. And I know you have big plans, Cindy. I kind of heard Natalie speak about your big plans. You tell us exactly what you plan on doing now that you have all this, you know your worth and what you have to offer the world.
Well, I can tell you, you're going to know who Downtown Cindy Brown is. I'm going to be a household name. I'll be all over the world speaking to people, telling them how incredible they can be. You know, I hope to inspire people that, you know, if a simple person like me can do it, that anybody can make their dreams come true. You know, I hope to be on the cover of a women's health magazine, you know, to show that you can go from a radical transformation and change how you look. You know, just little things that like that. But the biggest is I'm going to be on the stage. I'm going to be telling people that they can do anything they want. There's going to be the before picture, and then there's going to be the after picture. And it really boils down to, at the end of the day, really what you see yourself as, what you think about day in and day out, and stop listening to the garbage and stop tuning people out and get rid of the crabs that are nipping at your feet, and know that you're above everybody, not everybody else, but you're above what they're saying. And you got to surround yourself with incredible people and change your network. And it's incredible. It's, yeah, it's going to be awesome to go out and help people change their lives, and just tell them that, listen, it's so simple. You're like, really? I just have to do this, you know? And I can tell you, you know, it's so simple that I used it on my godson the other day at the dirt bike track. He was convinced that he couldn't do this double. He had a meltdown, complete meltdown. I mean, just nuclear meltdown at the track. And he kept telling the trainer he couldn't do it. He couldn't do a jump like that big. He's not good enough. You know, self-confidence kind of was a little down. He was down on himself. You know, he gave every excuse. And the trainer looked at him, and I looked at him. I said, Jack, all you got to do is believe. You got to see yourself flying through the air and that you're going to land perfectly. I said, you can do this. You're incredible. Anything you see, you can do. I said, come on, you can do this, buddy. Who's the winner? He said it. Who's the winner? He said it. I said, now come on. We're not going to stop this part until you do it. I said, because I know you can do it. I said, all you got to do is believe. Just believe that we are not going to do anything to hurt you, and that you are safe, and that you're incredible, and you're the best dirt bike rider in the world. I said, you're 20th in the United States in age 46 on the dirt bike. He ended up 20th in 2 classes last year. In 2020, he's the best of the best. I said, you don't get that out of 42 kids out of nothing. So he did it. So we just kept going over and over and over. And then lo and behold, he hit that jump. And you should have seen the look on his face as soon as he landed. He slammed on the brakes, slid sideways, and went, Sean started, and he was crying, and he was ecstatic. I can do it again. But the best part is you should have seen him ride after that. His confidence went through the roof, and he was railing. He was tearing up the dirt bike. Other trainers on the track were like, what's with Jack today? Look at him ride. Oh, my God, he's railing it. And they did the same yesterday. Why? Because he believed and changed his mindset that small. A little 7-year-old. If you can just do it with something with a little 7-year-old, just by changing, see yourself hitting the jump, Jack, and you land and you're excited. Just see it. Let's do it. and boom, it happens. And it's awesome. I mean, anybody can do this.
What a gift you just gave your godson. I mean, you just gave him these tools that he would have never have learned ever. And imagine if you hadn't taught him that, right? He might have never made that jump. And like, you just think of all the snowball effect from that. So what a gift that from what you've learned and now you've passed that on to him. It's just like, it chokes me up a little bit. And I think that's just amazing. You really are a total inspiration, Cindy, and you just live and breathe this material. Here's a question.
I hope people just take the chance to believe in themselves. That's what it comes down to. You got to get to the point where I was willing to do anything to change. I just said, you know what? Obviously, I haven't done it right myself. So let me take a chance, because they have succeeded and they've done certain things and they look great, sound great. They're always smiling. They're charismatic. They're people that you want to be around. You're like, whoa, these people are awesome. I want to hang out with them, and I hope people just realize that, you deserve it. Out of anything that's happened this year, with as much turmoil as we've had, with all this corona stuff and how frustrating it's been, and we're on lockdown, we're not on lockdown, whatever that BS is. First off, stop watching that junk. Let it go. You need to reprogram your mind. You know what? In my truck, we don't listen to the regular music. We listen to either Thinking It's a Result, a lesson, or we're listening to Joe Dispenza or Bob Proctor. We're listening to positive, motivational stuff in our truck. It's not just happy-go-lucky, everyday thing. And on my TV, we're watching positive stuff. We're not watching the news. We're not engaging in that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I watch the news, see what the weather's doing to stay on top of it if I need a jacket or something. But, for the most part, you guys owe it to yourself. After the year that we've had, you can change everything. You can be making quadruple the money you can make. Your yearly income could become your monthly income, which ultimately at some point that's going to become mine. I have a goal to make $11 million a year. My godkids have already picked out the house that they're going to live in and what rooms they're going to have. And they're going to have a saltwater fish tank that's going to connect in the wall between their rooms. A massive saltwater fish tank. They know that the pool needs to be redone. So, you guys deserve it. You owe it to yourself. It's just, you can get rid of some junk. Everybody's got junk in their house. Sell a few things, just unload. You deserve it. They can make a payment plan. They can do it. I'm telling you, I am so grateful that I said yes. My life, I haven't crushed all my goals yet. I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I can promise you, I'm surely not where I was. And I'm so grateful that I said yes to me, and I believed in myself that these guys can help me get to the next level. And it is absolutely priceless. I'll never be able to say thank you enough to Bob Proctor. And one day he is going to know who downtown Cindy Brown is. I'm going to have his phone number. He's going to be on speed dial. We're going to be best buds. He's going to love me, and we're going to have a great time. But please, guys, if I can tell you anything, just there's so much more. It's going to change every facet of your life, not just your health, not just your overall weight, your mind. It does everything. It's priceless, guys. Sorry, I told myself I was going to get upset today.
Don't apologize, Cindy, because I mean, this is the reality. It does change your life, and that emotion is real. So don't apologize. As much as we always say, okay, I'm not going to get emotional, it's real, but it has changed your life that much, right? So don't apologize ever for being real. And thank you so, so much for sharing with us. Your story is just incredible, and I really appreciate you sharing with us. You are a force to be reckoned with. Watch out, Bob. Cindy's on her way.
And if anyone has any questions, you know, shoot me a message. I'm on Facebook, Cindy Brown. I'm in Riverview, Florida. I'm easy to find. I'm not blocked or anything. Just send me a message. I'll be happy to chat with you. Whatever questions you have, you know, I mean, there was a lot of stuff I had to go through, and there's still more to knock off. But I can promise you, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I just, you deserve it. After the year we've had and everything that's going on, you deserve it more than anything. Don't wait another year. Don't.
Yeah. So if you have any questions or you want some advice, you know, shoot us a message. Any of our success advisors are more than happy to help answer your questions or direct you to people. If you have a question for Cindy, you can even just type it in the chat here. Again, don't forget to tune in today at 3 because Natalie will be on with Dr. Frank, and they'll be discussing. Love Dr. Frank. Yeah, they'll be discussing functional medicine and anti-aging. And if you struggle with your health and disease, you don't want to miss this. Trust me, this information could 100% change your life. And that's coming from me, who, I mean, I was diagnosed with this really rare autoimmune disorder where my body stores iron in my brain, and ultimately it was supposed to cripple me. And I went from planning on closing my businesses and because I was deteriorating so quickly, to ultimately healing my own body and now thriving with this material that Dr. Frank and Natalie will be sharing and talking about. So honestly, please don't miss it. Tune in. And again, thank you so much, Cindy. I really, really appreciate your time.
Thank you. You too. All right.